The U.S.-Japan Trade Agreement, a monumental and multifaceted accord signed with the full force of a U.S. presidential executive order, has not only fundamentally but also comprehensively and irrevocably restructured the intricate web of trade relations between these two powerful and globally significant nations. Welcome viewers to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe, like my video and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. The central and most impactful provision of the agreement is the establishment of a substantial, fixed, and transparent 15% baseline tariff on the vast majority of Japanese imports. This significant change completely replaces previous, more volatile, and often highly unpredictable tariffs that created widespread economic uncertainty. In a crucial and massive reciprocal exchange, Japan has committed to an enormous and unprecedented $550 billion investment in the United States. These funds are specifically earmarked to bolster the American economy and create jobs. Additionally, Japan has agreed to substantially and systematically increase its purchases of American goods, with a particular and focused emphasis on key agricultural products like corn and soybeans, as well as high-value defense equipment. This landmark and complex agreement is finalized at a time of severe and profound political crisis for Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who faces a significant and direct leadership challenge and potential ousting following a historic and stunning electoral defeat for his ruling party, the Liberal Democratic Party (LDP). This is not merely a technical policy shift, it is a complex and multifaceted diplomatic and economic event with far-reaching consequences for the domestic politics and international standing of both countries. The USJTA, a new and comprehensive framework for US-Japan commerce and global stability. The formal implementation of the USJTA, a truly landmark agreement, signifies a major and strategic shift in the US's overarching economic foreign policy, moving away from a series of ad hoc, punitive measures toward a more formalized and predictable framework. By meticulously establishing a fixed and transparent 15% baseline tariff, the deal introduces a critical degree of stability and predictability that has been largely and noticeably absent in the often chaotic and uncertain global trading environment. This uniform tariff applies to an exceptionally wide and diverse range of goods, from essential industrial components to highly finished consumer products, and thoughtfully includes specific, detailed provisions for key and sensitive sectors like automobiles, aerospace, and generic pharmaceuticals. The U.S. administration, led by President Trump, has enthusiastically hailed the agreement as a crucial and potent tool for significantly and systematically reducing the long-standing trade deficit and for substantially strengthening critical domestic industries by encouraging production within U.S. borders. This new and comprehensive framework is a direct, calculated, and deliberate response to the widespread economic disruption and profound uncertainty caused by President Trump's earlier, unilateral, and often unpredictable tariff policies, which severely impacted global supply chains and created significant financial pain. These previous protectionist measures created widespread and debilitating uncertainty for intricate global supply chains, severely impacting critically important industries like the Japanese automotive sector, a cornerstone of the Japanese economy. For example, the multinational giant Toyota had to publicly and reluctantly warn of a nearly $10 billion financial hit, an immense sum that forced the company to dramatically and publicly slash its profit forecast. The financial pain and operational distress were not, however, exclusive to foreign companies. Leading U.S. automakers like Ford and General Motors also projected billions of dollars in potential losses, demonstrating the interconnectedness of the global automotive industry. The USJTA meticulously aims to alleviate this pervasive uncertainty by providing a clear, transparent, albeit still significant, and predictable tariff rate that allows businesses to plan for the future with greater confidence and make long-term investment decisions. This stability is a key selling point for the administration, which argues it will restore confidence and promote sustained economic growth. In a major and unprecedented reciprocal move, Japan has made a series of truly significant and unprecedented concessions to the United States. The most significant of these is an enormous $550 billion investment pledge to be directed toward the U.S. economy, a sum of historic proportions that underscores the depth of Japan's commitment to the new partnership. These substantial funds, specifically targeting projects selected and approved by the U.S. government, are explicitly intended to bolster and revitalize American manufacturing, create a large number of well-paying jobs, and secure critical and vulnerable infrastructure, including in sectors like semiconductors and energy. Japan has also formally agreed to open its agricultural markets more broadly and generously to American products, with a significant and guaranteed increase in purchases of key staples such as corn, soybeans, and rice, which will provide a major boost to American farmers. The comprehensive deal further includes specific commitments to buy a substantial quantity of U.S.-made commercial aircraft, including a massive order for 100 Boeing planes, and advanced defense equipment, which not only strengthens the economic partnership but also deepens the critical security alliance between the two nations, demonstrating a shared vision for a stable Indo-Pacific region. The presidential executive order itself is a meticulously detailed and thorough legal document that provides critical and much-needed clarity on the new and complex trade rules, leaving little room for misinterpretation. It explicitly specifies that the new 15% tariff will not be layered on top of or added to existing tariffs, a crucial provision that prevents a scenario of double taxation and ensures a predictable financial outcome for importers. It also systematically creates a uniform 15% tariff floor, which means that any product currently with a lower tariff will be raised to this new baseline, while those already at or above this rate will not face any additional levy, creating a uniform and simplified tariff structure. A highly unusual but undeniably key and beneficial provision is the retroactive application of the new tariffs to goods that have already entered the U.S. on or after August 7, 2025, a measure that provides invaluable financial and legal certainty for businesses navigating this transition and prevents a last-minute rush to import. For the critically important automotive industry, the tariff relief will be implemented with exceptional speed, within 7 days of the order's publication, offering swift and tangible relief to a sector that has been particularly hard hit by trade tensions. Political instability in Japan and the uncertain future of Prime Minister Ishiba. The finalization and signing of the USJTA, a potential foreign policy triumph, coincides with a profound and deeply challenging political crisis for Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, threatening to overshadow his achievement. His leadership is under severe and public threat following the ruling Liberal Democratic Party's (LDP) historic and devastating electoral defeat, a loss which cost the long-standing coalition its majority in both houses of the Diet, the national legislature. An internal LDP report, widely circulated and discussed, has attributed the crushing loss to a trifecta of fundamental failures: widespread public dissatisfaction with domestic economic policy, a string of lingering and damaging political scandals, and a glaring inability to connect effectively with the crucial segment of young voters, who increasingly feel disenfranchised. The political pressure on Ishiba is both publicly visible and intensely personal, with dissent brewing from within his own party. A growing and influential number of key LDP members are reportedly planning to imminently resign from key leadership positions, a move that is widely and correctly seen as a direct and coordinated challenge to his authority and a clear signal of his diminished standing. Despite this overwhelming wave of internal dissent and public dissatisfaction, Ishiba has publicly maintained his resolute intention to stay in office and continue his leadership, citing the need for political stability. However, his defiance seems to be little more than a show of strength against an overwhelming and rising tide of discontent and opposition from all sides. As experienced political analysts have acutely noted, this quiet but organized rebellion is an implicit and damning indictment of Ishiba's entire leadership, suggesting that even his most loyal supporters have lost confidence in his ability to govern effectively. The political climax is now widely expected to occur next Monday, with a crucial vote on whether to hold a special leadership election to choose a new party head, a process that could see Ishiba replaced in short order. Analysts at the respected Eurasia Group assess Ishiba's chances of political survival as very low, with the odds of his definitive defeat placed at a staggering 60%. They meticulously argue that his poor and uninspiring electoral record and the vocal, public opposition of key party figures, like the powerful former Prime Minister Taro Aso, have decisively and irreversibly turned the tide.